Now, what I want you to do with all of this is to start to flesh out ideas for content, right? Because the way you are going to understand this is by writing about it, right? The way you're going to open up room for the perfect idea for your product or service is through writing and getting direct feedback, whether that be tweets, threads, or newsletters, or even a lead magnet, right? If you want to turn one of these things into a lead magnet, then feel free to do so, right? So let's look at these about where we can pull ideas from. Well, I mean, all of these are ideas, right? So how I write newsletters, tweets, and threads, how I turn those into YouTube videos, podcasts, and book chapters, why I go on walks and generate, how I go on walks, how I go on walks differently from other people. I have a process for turning ideas. So how I turn ideas into my own original ideas. So how I steal like an artist in a sense, or intelligent imitation in this case. Why I could create something out of this. How I work, or why sun tanning is the most important aspect of my work. Something like that. And then I could go into the health reasons behind that, and how proper nutrition and sunlight is one of the most important things for overall health. And I could go into Grim Hood's teachings about how like mitochondrial function and light health and even blue light and all of this other stuff when it comes to idea generation. So again, the importance of having multiple interests in order to create a compelling argument for your main interest. So one of my interests could be health, and I could tie that into a lot when it comes to creative work, right? And so you can just go through this and start to think of all these different things, and you can outline like a few weeks worth of content that you can start to write about and understand. And that is how you learn how to teach, right? Because a lot of people have problems with the experience side of things, where it's like, oh, I'm not experienced enough to teach this. Well, you need to write about it. You need to teach about it. It's the experience paradox, where if like freelancers, how do they go and sell something, right? Well, first, they learn about it. Second, they build something like a portfolio or something of that case. So your portfolio in your case is your writing, right? You're not charging anyone for it. If you're not charging anyone for it yet, you can talk about whatever you want, right? You can teach whatever you want for free, like online. You're not filtered in any way aside from the way that you're filtering yourself. So the experience paradox, where it's like you have to have experience to start teaching in this case, but you need to teach in order to gain experience, right? You need to teach in order to gain experience. You need to write in order to gain experience. So let's take the problems, right? Because a lot of things revolve around problems, and you can start to prime your audience to be sold, I guess you could say, or to raise their awareness around this stuff and make them more aware of your interest in general. So when it comes time to launch a product or service, they are more likely to buy. So I could write about how to improve your mental clarity or think clearly with writing, right? Lack of focus in the morning. So I could talk about how to get into focused work. Not having a skill I can learn, refine. So I could talk about the importance of skill acquisition as a topic for an article. Not having a hobby to take up time. So a productive hobby that someone can have, which is writing. And I can take any of these. So what I really encourage you to do is read through your marketing strategy again and the things you've written out in here, and take ones that stick at the top of your mind, right? Where it's like I want to write about this. Like this really interests me. And so let's say lack of focus in the mornings, right? So I can take lack of focus in the mornings, copy that, and then we go back to the command center, and then we create a new outline for a newsletter or whatever this may be, and that's the topic. That's the topic, right? And so then I can write down lack of focus in the mornings. I could let it know it's relating to writing. Could reference a book that I'm reading, Rest by Alex Sujong, and that could go in research as well. And then planning, you guys already know this process, right? But the topic is lack of focus. And so you can visualize that, or the topic here is focused work, right? So then the big problem again, you just go through all of this and you write these out, and this could be turned into a thread. This could be turned into a newsletter, a lead magnet. Hell, this could be a product in itself. It could be a low ticket ebook, right? And that could be your first product. So you're going to start having ideas over time with all of this stuff is the main point that I want to get across. And you need to write about it to free up and build authority in this space, right? So this is extremely important for building authority in something that you plan to sell in the future. So that's all I have to say is outline a few content ideas to start writing about this, and start writing tweets about all of those problems. Write out the problem and then write out the answer in a tweet. Try it and go back through bachelor's curriculum during this time to kind of make the connections about how all of this starts to work together.